Good evening, Twitch. How you doing? Just to let you know, sorry about the technical difficulties here. A couple things are happening right now. I apologize if the connection quality is not the best. Hopefully it'll be fine as we stream tonight. Hopefully it'll also improve over time. A couple of devices are actually apparently forcing updates, which is drastically reducing my ability to upload or stream. But hopefully that'll actually be perfectly fine. Everything will be okay. GM, thank you very much for the auto post here. We're going on a little bit of technical difficulties, but it should be fine. We shall carry on. No problem. As I really actually do want to go into this game of Hand of Fate. I haven't been able to test it. This is something that kind of came out of the blue. Can't expect other people to be using using the internet. But let us jump on in back to Hand of Fate. I've been having a lot of fun with this game. I've been having a ton of fun playing this game. I like the Twitch integration has been done well. The gameplay has actually been pretty solid, very much fun, the same as it was, as you know, just definitely expanded a bit. Not too much, but definitely enough to make it fresh. Definitely had to be on your toes to actually survive. I've come close to death quite a few times already. And I like the integration, the Twitch integration, by having people actually vote by having hashtag A, B, or C, or hashtag 1, 2, 3. It's actually very makes a very nice steady pace, whether it's by gifts or you basically give gifts or punishments to me as I play through here. So just gonna take a look here, see how actually choppy the actual gameplay will be here. Once again, like I said, technical difficulties. Can't really do much about them at the moment here, primarily because things are downloading, and when you go near internet shared, especially over a wireless connection. Yeah, I am pretty of time. These are expected dropping frames, though, unfortunately. A couple other devices in the house are being forced updates, and they're big updates, and when you have that, not much you can do about it, unfortunately. I wanted to see what it would look like in the video preview. I wish there was something I could actually take a look. Something I wish I knew would have happened in advance, but I can't predict these type of things when other people are actually also using use the same frequency. A lot of people have jumped on over to the 5 GHz frequency now, so things get kind of wonky. Might be stabilizing though once the updates once the updates go through. It looks like actually my internet has finally I can upload fine now. Like I said, it all just depends on everything running smoothly. So the dropping frames are expected. I like how it says, out of all the frames you've streamed so far, you've dropped 80% of them. Although it does look like it's finally stabilized, so we'll definitely give it a shot. We'll continue on, because updates, they come and go. And you can't stop an update. Once it's started, you don't want to stop it. Rude. Especially when other people are needing to update devices.
You and I will travel a ways together. I will teach you all I know, and you will destroy he who has taken my place.
So we are back here. So we've actually gone quite a ways. We've completed 5 of the challenges so far. We've defeated the Fool, we've gone through the Magician, we've met the High Priestess of the North, we've helped the Empress, who is also a Northerner, and we also just helped an Emperor of the Empire. I like that there's a lot of little world building going on. We also met a new companion as well, a Northerner with dual swords. Hopefully we can actually use him as we go through our adventure here. But now we shall continue our adventure with the Hierophant. Our goal here, though, I actually like that it's no longer just simply about killing the card, the card that was a part of the deck. Now doing tasks for each of them, or fulfilling some sort of quest or mission. Discover which assassin seeks to kill Father Galfrey. Something tells me we won't actually get a success on this one. It looks like we definitely have, looks like 4 companions are choosing here. So let's actually pick the Wanderer here. I'm actually curious about that. Also curious. Let's take his. So these are the encounters we can actually add. They definitely reduce the amount of encounters you can add to your deck. It was definitely had you choose a lot more as you were able to go through. So let's do add Deadly Forest. I'm curious to see what Man of the World is. Winding Trail. I want to check that out. Kind of just want to throw in almost all of them, just to kind of see how it goes here. I know they don't really have a lot of tokens to offer, but it's still something that I find interesting. Did we do all of these already? We actually have gotten all the tokens on all the other ones. Going the Wilds, Burning Building. Let's go back with the Market Thief. I want to try that. We can't do the underneath because we need Malaclips. Let's actually add Empire Contacts and Exploring the Wilds. We'll add those. Let's also add the Billy Clubs. I want to try that out. Let's see. Did we figure... No, we haven't figured out what the Humble Hammer does yet. We've got the Mercenary Garb. Lord's Diadem. We'll try that. They'll try out the Extinguisher and the Gambler's Jewel. And also the Ring of Food. Let's actually throw a bunch of rings here. I want to throw in the helmet, as we didn't get a helmet last time. I think we... Yeah, we threw in some on there. And we can actually 2 supplies now. Interesting. Well, there's not too much of a point of actually taking on 2 swords, so let's take the food. Let's also take... What do we want to take? Do I want to take the Warrior's Axe? Let's take the Brigand's Blades. There we go. We have to discover which assassin seeks to kill Father Galfrey. Information comes at a cost. Collect gold to use for bribes. Ah, so there's now bribes in the game. Be prepared for dice games. Hang on a second. Yeah, he gives bonus dice. For encounters, though. Let's actually... Oops, that's not the one. Let's actually take away the Market Thief here, because we actually lose gold. I do want to... Something that'll get me gold. With arm wrestling. Oh no, Cartographer actually might be a good one. We'll keep everything else... we'll keep everything else the same. Let's begin!
In better times, it would have been my card here, the guardian of knowledge and the protector of the gates of life and death. Now Callus sits that throne, and miscreants assume possession.
The Mulberry Inn. With Malaclips's encouragement, that's a few murders in the grand scheme of things. You find yourself sat opposite of the opulently dressed leader of the Thieves Guild. Or one of the leaders. It's a shadowy organization. He takes a sip of wine and leans back to savor the taste. I am scheduled to be assassinated. The new assassin has been determined. So the tale begins. I believe the suspect is one of my own. With subtle nods, he indicates a bearded man, a woman with red hair, and a man with gray eyes. Gordon, Rowena, and Gridon. My 3 personal silencers. One of them left me this note, I am sure. When the red candle's flame burns out, on his last evening at the Mulberry Inn, a false priest will have his sins appeased. He points out the red candle upon the fireplace. The assassin favors theatrics over secrecy, it seems. Find the assassin for me. To do that, you will likely need gold. Thieves will tell you anything for gold. I want to ask who he is exactly. I'm known as Father Galfrey. Though it is not my true name, of course. I keep track of accounts in this region. A note was left for me in this inn. Let's see here. Gordon is the eldest in my employ, a simple, nervous kind of man. I highly doubt that he would have the heart, nor the finesse to assassinate me, unless he has his hidden true nature. Has hidden his true nature all this time. I say you'd have to pour a few meads into him if you wanted him to talk. But I had to collect clues, it seems. Rowena has been one of my silencers for as long as I have been in this position. That is a very long time indeed. Belfry said that Rowena has worked for him for a long time. I asked that she infiltrate the 3rd Legion of the Imperial Army and eliminate their captain. She did so. Of course, as efficient as anything. In the 3rd Legion of the Empire Army. I suspect that she was the only she's only truly loyal to gold. She is quite a valuable asset to the guild. Though it would be a shame if she intends to assassinate me. I also love that they made it rain. Very nice atmosphere. And we'll ask about Grandon. Grandon has been in my employ for some time. Galfrey has said that Grandon has been with him for a long time. He's prone to making the most preposterous claims, many of which are untrue. Be wary of his exaggerations, even if he isn't the assassin. And especially when he's had too much wine. Alright. And with that, he waves you away to, and you retire to bed, wondering how Malclips talked you into this. Malclips is just a source of trouble. And there we go. The voting has begun. All gifts. How fortuitous. Suddenly, a tree falls across your path, blocking your way. Weapons bristle from the trees around you, their wielders' faces obscured by their undergrowth. Give us all your gold or die. I will not give you my gold, I will attack. I want to see how the Wanderer does. Kolbjorn, his family lost, his clan turned against him. Kolbjorn has traveled south in search of meaning. When activated, Kolbjorn performs a charging attack that causes stun and may knock down weakened enemies. Stay close to charge his ability faster.
You will die for this.
Ah. There we go. How's it going, Ninja Zombie? How are you doing tonight? Spent a lot of time still continuing cleaning, trying to figure out where to put everything. I need to make a lot more space in this place. The cowards subdued, the thugs plead for their lives. Please, for pity's sakes, we only want to feed our families. What else would you have us do? Demand that they give you their spoils, give them 10 gold, and let them go free? Don't think this is connected to the events. What do you think we should do? I'm actually curious. I don't know what we should do in this one. We demand that we demand their spoils of what petty thieves have? Or to let them go free? Or should we actually give them what gold we have? We know that we will need gold in our adventure. Love the thunder and lightning. Not appear as anyone wants to vote. That is fine. Oh, alright. Let them go free. Thank you, adventurer. We will spread word of your mercy. Okay, so if you let them go free, they get fame.
A game of chance or two, perhaps.
Beside a busy Empire road, you spy a ramshackle stall, whereupon a few ramshackle people are seated on stools, rolling dice. You approach the stall, and behind the table is a little girl practicing on a poorly tuned violin. Beside her waits a squat lady clad in a flower apron. Welcome, have a seat. Do try the spice cakes. Baked them this morning. There's a shout of victory as a grubby pauper further down the table wins a small pile of gold. Play cards, play dice, or attempt to steal from the patrons. 3 games remaining today. 3. I think we should steal, think we should play some dice. Our companion gives us bonus dice, just to let you know. So there is an advantage to Kolbjorn giving us a hand here, or we could play some cards. Personally, I would say play dice, because we have the advantage. Attempt to steal from the patrons. Well, we'll play dice first, and then we'll actually go for the steal. How much are you looking to bet? These are our rates today. Ooh. I'm actually curious. Remember, Puppet, it's double or nothing. Berta hands you 3 well-worn dice. If your third roll is the highest, you'll win enough to buy your sweetheart something from the market. Alright.
Back to the bones. I hope you have learned to be their master. Well done. You continue to impress.
Now for your second roll. Oh, we have to keep rolling higher. Let's reroll it. So your last roll, the grubby gamblers beside you watch eagerly. Roll higher than 11 on your third and final roll. I thought we would have our companion give us a bonus die. I'll roll the 1. I'll accept the die. Okay, so if I fail, then we get it. Okay. Congratulations, dear. You have won 14 gold with the original bet of 7 gold. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Interesting. So we can play cards, we can keep playing, or we can leave. I think if anything, we should probably actually leave. Or try and steal at the last choice. So, what do you think? I'm actually curious. I'm going to limit this. I want to play cards or play dice again. We lost the bonus die, so we can't actually get another bonus die. This game doesn't really want you failing dice rolls. Yeah, no, it definitely is, you know, generous. Like I said, the game, you know, this game has a lot tighter combat, but at the same time, it's a lot more forgiving. Like I said, I wanted to play cards here. That's 7 gold here. Ooh. That's a 50-50 there. That's a 50-50. I think number 3. Alright, we'll attempt to steal from the patrons. You pull up a stool between 2 gamblers, smiling as you sit down. Pretending to be interested in their card game, you attempt to pick their pockets.
The pendulum is ever changing, and the challenges it presents change too.
I wonder what the gold one is. I've really got to...
Things appear impossible, they can be mastered. Keep practicing.
Your target notices as you slide your hand to their pocket. The scandalized look on their face suggests that they think you to be committing an altogether different crime. They slap you hard across your face and kick you out of the gambling stall. Whoops. I'm actually curious. Nope, can't go back.
Use the Empire to provide the fodder for your own challenges. I understand.
You visit your contact in the Imperial Armory. You must be planning for trouble if you've come to me for help, says with a knowing grin. Tell me, who are you hunting? I'll see what I can find in the vault of contraband items. Well, let's go for thieves. Tell them that you're hunting thieves. Not an uncommon practice these days, his comments. Ooh, billy clubs. Ah, I could get a lot of trouble if I find out what took for the vault. Ah, I can't buy the billy clubs. Okay, so the contact gives you...
Once again, we return to the inn, seeking clues to save a life. When we look into memories, so many things are left unsaid and clouded. Why this life? Why this inn?
Enter the Mulberry Inn and find Father Galfrey at his usual table by the fireplace. You sit down across from him. He scratches some numbers on one of many rolls of paper strewn across the table. Then he glances up at you. 3 days until the assassin comes for me, and 3 suspects. How apt. 3 days to uncover the liar. I would like you to follow one of my silencers on a job. Trading trust for information. Pay for it if you must. Ask why an underling would want to kill him. We all covet gold. That is why we are in this business, no? If somebody has paid a high price for my head, then there is little I can do. He considers his wine for a moment. I'd imagine the assassin is more inclined towards lying. If you can root out the liar, you will uncover the assassin too. So who do you want me to go on a job with? So we can go with Borden, who is easier to bribe with some mead. Rowena, she just wants money. And Gradon, well, if we can get him drunk, he becomes a lot more exact. Probably should deny him his liquor if we actually want the truth from him. He loves to exaggerate. We need a number. Oh no, you were probably doing the taking away all my gold. How dare you? How dare you, Freddy? Rowena has been tasked with kidnapping the child of Lady Fielding as they journey to the capital.
You surely have a liking for strange bedfellows. Here you are, helping thieves challenge thieves, without a thought for their ultimate victims.
Well, your call. It's your call, it's your vote, and you can do whatever you want with it. You note the meeting point on your map and retire for the night. You can also change it, too. The Guild. What's the Guild do?
One should always keep an eye on their belongings.
With a snap, you feel something being yanked off your person. You turn to see a few goblins running away, giggling and pointing at you. Wow, we actually are fighting goblins. With no time to check what was stolen, you rush out to the thieving devils. Defeat the goblins before they blow their horn and escape. Some highwaymen emerge from the bushes to protect the goblins. Thieves Guild! Okay, so I just gotta kill the goblins. Thieves don't matter. I gotta kill 3 goblins. Thief. There will ever be a place for small hands and quick wits. Defeating goblins quickly to avoid losing your items for good. Thieves attack more frequently while goblins are alive. To protect the spoils. They stole my money! Come here. the last one. There you are. Give me my money. Oh no. I had to kill all of them. Let's get my money back. You take back your brigand blaze from the unconscious goblin. As soon as you do, with a sputter, the goblin in question awakes and flips away from you. Giggling, it escapes into the forest. The goblins are colluding with the Thieves Guild now. With the thugs defeated, you search their bodies for valuables. Billy Club.
No better way to enforce justice than force. All law follows from might.
From a flurry of strikes that cause knockdown against thieves. Enemies with a knockdown can be defeated with a finisher. Nice. I'll take them. Of course, food.
This will not be the last time you tread foot in places others fear, I suspect. If indeed you do so.
The forests of Mortifernum are legendarily dangerous. For every tale of its hidden treasures, there are 5 stories of adventurers who never returned. Let us enter the deadly forest. This is the first Brimstone card. I don't know what it does. Shadowy beasts descend from the trees and tear at your flesh. Oof, right off the bat. Oof. Fearing for your life, you flee the forest. Okay. I must be missing something. That was weird. The general store. This... You know what? You know what? Let's actually sell these clubs. Let's actually sell these clubs. We can get money for them. Well, I'm curious, though. Let's see what the Ring of Food does. Optionally discard any non-food game card to receive +2 food. Interesting. There's Diadem. Stun Blast. Defeat a corrupted enemy to cause a short stun to nearby enemies. Reduces the swing of precision gambits. Interesting. You need 9 fame. So fame basically is... Wow, fame is really going to be your factor if you're going to be able to actually equip gear or not. Mercenary Garb offers stun defense. Tight Pockets reduces the chance of goblins stealing an item by 50%. Reduces gold stolen by 50%. Interesting. And the Humble Hammer. I was curious what this does. According to Slam, it deals 120% damage for every enemy hit. Humble Hero weapon deals less damage the higher the wielder's fame. Minimum of 16 damage. So, okay, so Humble Hammer means the more fame. Oh, that's not really good. At least in my personal opinion. We don't need healing or anything. Continue. Keep exploring. And a health tonic. Let's do the missions.
I have little love for them. Less still for the criminal guilds that fill the cities these days. Bankers, thieves, assassins, merchants, kings. Each tries to use their power to control those around them.
You and Rowena need not travel far before finding a gilded carriage trundling along an imperial road. The carriage is protected by a contingent of guards, defeating all enemies before the timer ends to impress Rowena. You and Rowena draw your swords in unison and leap into battle. Light enemies are weakest against Empire armor. Actually a good point. Let's go with the villager's axe then. Ah, darn it. Ah, I see. If he's blocking, he'll be blocking everything. Did I literally have Rowena die? Down you go. I'm surprised Rowan had died. Rowan is impressed by your efficient fighting skills. He trusts you a little more. You open the carriage door to see a woman dressed in silks and gems, clutching her son. Please, she cries desperately, take this gold. He's just a child. Without a second thought, Rowena pockets the heavy pouch of coins from the weeping mother and closes the door on them. He stares at you coldly. It's foolish to be loyal to anything but gold. I trust you agree with me? Swear her to secrecy or threaten to tell unless she gives you half the gold. What am I getting out of that, though? I would think if I threaten, I have two thought processes on this. If I threaten to take her gold, she might actually say something to reveal the assassin. But if I help her, I basically can win her favor. What do you guys think? They're trying to obtain clues. I think one. Alright, let's swear yourself to secrecy. Rowena trusts you a little more. If there's nothing else, I have business elsewhere. Ask what she thinks of Father Galfrey. He sits in his finery, counting coins. I expect he will do so until the day he dies. He considers you for a bit. I wouldn't trust him so much. He's in the Guild of Thieves, just like us, after all. Ask her about her favorite food. Roasted apple. What a family. I have a family in the capital. I do not talk to them. I was in the 7th Legion of the Empire before my time here. I spoke against my captain, so he tried to have me killed. I ran. I did not like to spill unnecessary blood. Rena said that she was in the 7th Legion of the Empire. Okay, so we have contradicting clues then. Because the Hierophant said that she was part of the... Oh no, she had to invade the 3rd Legion. I wonder how much Rowena has told you today is a lie. I can buy her... Went to the Mulberry Inn and find Father Galfrey at his usual table and fireplace. Got you some numbers on one of many rolls of paper. I hope the job with Rowena was fruitful today. You were not dead with a knife in your back, so I presume yes. It would be prudent to review what my silencers have said when you have a quiet moment. Perhaps you will catch a lie in the process. Review collected clues at the campfire. Tomorrow... About your goblin problem. Oh, yeah, I want to talk about that. Goblins from our guild? He scratches his chin in annoyance. Their loyalty to the guild is tenuous at best. Here, take this.
So much folly begins and ends with crime.
This item will always be stolen instead of other equipment or gold. Funny bunch. Goblins. Well, let's go on a job. Go on a job with Borden. Actually, no, he's the straight man. Let's go with Gridond. I've told Grindon to stake out the castle by Moorhammer Lake for any movement, out or in. The lady of the castle owes us a considerable debt. Note the meeting point on your map and retire for the night. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to camp instantly here.
Good. Take this chance to review the clues you have learned so far.
With gold, a maggot is still a maggot. What the trade here? Lunch elderly trader blinks up at you. Thieves Guild, eh? He shakes his head. Even the good ones are turning to the guild. He's selling a humble hammer. Oof, he wants 50 gold for that. No. Can I have any equipment? No. Keep those. Let's review the clues for now. View what Galfrey said. Galfrey said that Borden has worked for him for a long time. Galfrey said that Borden will spill more truth when drunk. Galfrey said Rowena has worked for him for a long time. It was in the 3rd Legion of the Empire Army. Like I said, so we do have contradicting clues then. Galfrey said Grindon has worked for him for a long time. Grindon makes wild accusations when drunk. Galfrey said that the assassin will always lie regardless of the personality. Hear what Rowena said. Said that she was in the 7th Legion. That's it. Okay. The shopkeeper nods to you as you enter. Adventurer, how's the world out there? Ooh. Other items. Extinguisher. Fire inflicts 40 less damage. Interesting. And the Gambler's Jewel. Add +2 to your final score during dice gambits. Interesting. Let's see. No, I'll keep that. I'm gonna assume more goblins will attack us. Yep. With a snap, you feel something yanked off your person. Guess we're fighting for our ring back. Oh, I didn't equip the bloody... Ah, darn it. Goblins taking everything from me. My food, my money, my weapons. It's all terrible. Take back your thieves' folly from the unconscious goblins.
Humility is the beginning of power.
Unfortunately... There we go. There's the gold. And we lost 3 food. Oof. Those are playing rough. We'll return later.
Can you reach the end of this challenge before you starve to death? Time will tell.
Elbjorn returns to his home village to partake in Toil, the ritual cleaning of his people's ancestral grave mounds. Oh, we can't do this one. We need a blessing. That's unfortunate. And actually... Of course, I should have realized that was that. Oh, well, thank you. You buried me in gold. Well, I need to break camp, because I need to buy food. Shame I don't have any blessings. Let's see, what is it, the... Oh, okay, so the equipment does change every time you go to camp. Interesting. There's trading. We have enough health. Although I do want to change my equipment. Put on the brigand blades back. I like they can change your weapons now. Oh, you actually were able to change your weapons for the first one. With a shout, Grindon signals your arrival at the castle by Moorhammer Lake. You find some long grass and settle down for the day. Despite being a stakeout, Grindon happily talks quite loudly. You know, my sources tell me the lady inside is wanted for high treason. He suddenly pulls out a bit of charcoal and paper. Would you like my autograph? Do we want his autograph? He feels like he's a man who's full of himself. A man who enjoys feeding his own ego. You know what would be nice, actually, is like a timer would also be there. It'll be hard to implement. Alright. You allow him to scribble his name on the roll of paper. He tucks it lovingly into your hand. Grindon trusts you a little more. Time passes, but nobody leaves or enters the modest castle. I say, who are you anyway? Grindon retrieves a boiled sweet from a paper bag and pops it in his mouth. I've not seen you around before. Say you're a new recruit. Say you're the leader of the Thieves Guild in disguise. So I could tell him the truth, or I could engage in his lies and boister who I am. I'm actually curious. I think he'll like a good story. Grindon raises his eyebrows. Really? What are you doing here with me on this job? Say that you're doing a routine checkup, or say that you're here to personally congratulate him. One sounds very mundane and boring. One sounds, hey, let's feed his ego some more. Personally, I'm all for feeding his ego. I want to see how big it is. It'll be like a Twitch streamer. Or a celebrity. Oh, wow. When in doubt, lie even more. That's a good approach. We're talking to a bunch of thieves, so we should lie ourselves. Oh, wow. Grindon bows his head in deference. I can't believe it. I mean, I suppose I am quite handsome, and good at this job to boot. Can I ask you a question? Are you really planning to assassinate the Emperor? I just worked for the Emperor. I got all his cursed relics back. So I guess the leader of the Thieves Guild wants to assassinate the Emperor of the Empire. Interesting. So what do we say? Do we want to say yes on this, or do we say no? I mean, either way, we're in too deep now. Anything we say is a lie. Alright, we're gonna say yes then. Grindon crinkles the paper bag of sweets wide-eyed. But I heard the Emperor has got magic keeping him alive. Grindon trusts you a little more. Something else happens during the stakeout. You spend most of the time watching a dog sleep. Before you head your separate ways, you take the chance to question Grindon. Grindon is checking his appearance in the reflection of his blade. Father Galfrey? A doddering old fool. I'm surprised he hasn't already been replaced by a younger, more dashing guild member. He's gone soft in his old age. The other day he let one of the rabble go free after they mucked up a job. No thumbs chopped off. Nothing. Ah, a great question. It would be a sugar-spun swan, no doubt. Who needs family when I have so many devoted followers? I used to be a famed actor. That was a while ago. I wonder how much Grundan has told you today is a lie. I'm still curious about the red candle. Tomorrow evening I may die. For the briefest moment fatigue crosses his face. Father Galfrey appears all at once very old. I hope you know who the assassin is before me. Ask to borrow gold from the guild's coffers to bribe the suspects. Ask why he trusts you. Ask why he trusts me. Father Galfrey looks at you sadly. Even if you were to steal the ring from my hand, you could never truly be a part of this guild. No, you don't have the heart for it. I'm sorry, we are going to ask to borrow gold. I cannot! I'd have to lie on the guild's records. Father Galfrey jowls quiver in shock at the suggestion. Not so much for borrowing money. Borden is going to pick up some lambs from the shipwreck port that have been, let's say, repossessed from their owners. You note the meeting point on your map and retire for the night. Ooh, so tired. Alright. A man of the world. Greetings, fellow traveler. A cheerful fellow clad in brilliant yellow surcoat passes you on the road one day. Let me tell you, your outfit is exquisite. I should know. I almost wore that exact thing today. He pulls out a hefty scroll. I have been documenting every nook and cranny of this beautiful land, and my soul is shaking with delight at the thought of sharing it with you. Ah. A man of the world is very much a cartographer. May your vistas be breathtaking and your tree climbing be non-lethal. With an enthusiastic wave, the man shoulders his heavy rucksack and continues his journey, whistling all the while. That's a really good card. Let us begin a duel.
We see the contempt the Empire holds your kind in.
A careless comment in an Imperial tavern gains you some unwanted attention. A soldier approaches. A variety of commendations are pinned to his military jacket. Ooh, the Captain of Steel. What's this mercenary doing here? He asked loudly, sizing you up with contempt. Coin slaves like you are nothing more than undisciplined thugs. Nobody cares for your outrageous claims of heroism. I know this mercenary, a trader at the back of the tavern pipes up. They say he defeated the magical shaman of the northern tribe. Well, I've never heard of you, the soldier says, turning back to you. You think you know how to handle that thing, do you? He continues, gesturing at your weapon. I am Cassius, the finest swordsman in my company. Would you like to prove your mettle against a real warrior? Or goblins and the corrupted the limit of your talents? I think I might know what you guys want, but I'm curious all the same. Do we accept the duel or slink away? Yeah, I thought so. That's not actually gonna do much damage, is it? You know, I'm just curious. Let's actually equip the Humble Hammer. Let us accept the duel. We'll probably be doing as little damage as possible, but still, I'm just curious about the hammer itself. Glove slap, baby glove slap. Alright, Cassius. Oof, that's a massive mustache. Captain Cassius, very drunk. Captains wear armor that dulls standard attacks. Use bash to break their armor. Oh! Okay. Ah. Whew. What? Did I win? Enough! Your opponent's just back, hands raised. I don't have time for this nonsense. The tavern crowd cheers your victory, and the tales of your battle are told and retold, your prowess growing with each telling. Gain 8 fame. Alrighty. Well, that was a very costly duel. Ooh, food is refreshed. Let's stay off for now. The helmet. I'm still gonna hold on to my stuff. Actually, once we can, let's get rid of the humble hammer. We need to cook this. We need to cook food. Badly. How many cards? Oof. That's gonna have to do it for us. What's up ahead? More goblins, death at the Mulberry Inn, and exploring the wilds. Let us actually do this. Travel to the shipwreck port by wagon. You ride in relative silence until Borden turns to you and asks quite seriously, "What do you think of the boss?" Tell him you were proud to be working under such a great man. Tell him you find Father Galfrey hard to read. That's actually a tough answer. Or a tough reply. Proud to be working. That's right. Actually, you're right. Borden is his longest working silencer. Borden smiles when he hears your answer. Borden trusts you a little more. At the port, you're approached by a pirate bearing a load of stolen lamps. Borden goes to give him a sack of gold, presumably payment. The unusually pale pirate shakes his head. No. He pulls out a rusty bucket and sword. I want blood. Theirs. Borden looks at you expectantly, as if you shouldn't protest. Ooh, give your blood or refuse. we might not survive this. Are we ready to take such a risk, but we might not survive? It would be very interesting to actually die. Alright, let's give our blood. Good, a max life. A 5. A 15. That's fine. That's good. I forgot about the permanent life loss. You retrieve the crates of stolen lamps and pile them onto a wagon before setting off. When you arrive at the drop-off point, Borden is seized with sudden emotion. I'm sorry I asked you to give blood. I'm a terrible person, aren't I? Attempt to comfort him? Tell him that he is quite a terrible person. I want to tell him, just comfort him, or tell him he's quite the terrible person. I mean, he is part of the Thieves Guild. Well, I don't know why he's a part of the Thieves Guild. I think attempting to comfort him might be the best answer. Because he's definitely the most straightforward. No, well, actually he's the other straightforward of the group.
Ho, 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 you make a poor apprentice. Cultivate focus.
That's great. He actually responds if you wait too long. Okay.
Nicely timed.
Borden trusts you a little more. Borden wrings his hands as if he would very much like to leave. I should go. The boss always makes sure we get our cut. We can't ask for any better, really, in a guild of scoundrels like us. Oh, blackberry tart. Or maybe apple tart. Borden begins to sweat, seemingly from the pressure of the question. Why food? Borden pucks up a little. Yes, I have a beautiful wife. It's difficult to see her when I travel on jobs so often. I was a farmer before this. I have not collected many clues. Oh, that was the punishment. It was a pain blessing. that was a lot. Actually curious. Oops, that's not the right button. Is there no food? No, no food, of course. Alright, goblins. At least we have our brigand's blades. I'm still curious what the tokens on the weapons do. Oh. I guess... Oh, brigand's blades, that was an introduction. A sharp knife quickly applied under the cover of night has long been the tool of footpads and criminals. What? What? Stop him! He's supposed to die! You take back your thieves' folly once again. Deft Eye, a blessing. Slower spin, reduce the speed of the wheel gambit. Interesting. Oh, thank goodness, food. Alright. Knowing what is in front of you allows you to pick a safe path through the wilds. Oh, you know we're putting it... Yeah. Oh, thank goodness. All the right cards automatically get picked. Ah, failure. The wilds are becoming are welcoming, their bounty plentiful. You feel soothed and invigorated by your exploration. Wait, what? What? Wait, what? Hang on a second. How is that only a net bonus? I'm just gonna review the clues here. Beautiful wife. Be an actor.
A rotten priest and a rotten thief. Expend the effort to save him, and watch thousands wail as they lose their hard-earned wealth.
Only 11 out of 19. How would I be supposed to earn more clues? Well, enter the inn. You find Father Galfrey at his usual place next to the fire. As you seat yourself opposite him, you notice he looks distinctly calm, despite the foretelling of his death tonight. You watch Borden, Rowena, and Grandon roaming about the tavern. Find and eliminate the assassin before they eliminate me. However, I cannot be responsible for what may happen if you accuse one of my silencers wrongly. The red candle upon the fireplace burns tall. The Mulberry Inn is curiously quiet tonight. What should we do? Should we approach one of the people, or talk to Father Galfrey, or review the clues once more? I pretty much have the clues memorized. Only 11 out of 19 clues. How are we supposed to get the last set of clues? How should we start? This is already better than the Murder on the Orient Express. The new one that came out, not the classic. The classic was good. What to do? Guess we'll start with talking to Father Galfrey. I'd advise you not to waste your time. I have a very personal stake in your prompt success. If you had the death threat again, ask about how to gather information, offered to stand guard beside him all night, and finish asking questions. When the red candle burns out on his last evening at the Mulberry Inn, the false priest will have his sins appeased. They are thieves at the end of it all. Gold is what they want. If that fails, I find the fools often spill their secrets with drink. Finish asking questions. The red candle burns tall. Guess we're just gonna approach each one. Let's actually approach Rowena first. Rowena continues to sharpen her blades, not even looking up at you. Bribe with gold. Drink with Rowena to gain information? No. Alright, let's just bribe her. Oh my god, really? Flip the die. You hand the money over. We're looking for the one with gray eyes. Rowena said the assassin is Grandon. Alright. You have to... Oh, something tells me I have to buy everything, don't I? They don't wear a hidden wrist dagger. Rowena said that the assassin doesn't have a hidden wrist dagger. Okay. So wait, let me think about this. We got 2, so we're at 11. 1, 2. We got 2 from her. So 4, that's 17. Yeah, so we have to basically do everything then. I do not drink, it dulls the senses. Okay. Do something else. Guess we should go to... Oh, we can't get all the clues because we lost money. Oh, that's so sad. I should have saved up more money. Ooh. I gotta say, the pendulum game there is really difficult. It's a lot more difficult than you'd actually think. Drunken Borden pulls you close and whispers fearfully. Don't let her hear this, but the redhead is ruthless. He infiltrated the 3rd Legion as an Empire soldier for 6 moons, and killed her commander in cold blood. Borden drunkenly said that Rowena was in the 3rd Legion of the Empire and killed her captain. We have a lie from her. Let's try and bribe more. Bribe more people. I'm not sure, but maybe it is Gryndon. He talks a lot. We're gonna be short one clue. Rowena has worked for many different factions, I hear. Perhaps it would be easier for her to be disloyal to our guild. Unfortunately, he doesn't know anything then. Yes, I heard about the assassination threat from my own channels, Gryndon adjusts his hat. I'm very well respected in this guild, you know. Wow, that was the easiest one.
Breathe. You have done well.
I mean, Borden is old. Real old. He's been here before I was born, I'm sure. He's probably trying to off the boss because he needs a change of pace. I would. While this drunk Gryndon said he thinks the assassin is Borden. Let's bribe him. We have the money. Oh, that was really bad. Nope.
I'm somewhat surprised you lost that one.
I am too. Trying to infiltrate my inscrutable mind, are you? You notice the red candle appears shorter. Worryingly, it seems to have taken very little time to burn down. Let's try one more time. You have got to be kidding me. There we go. I wouldn't trust anybody, to be perfectly honest, except me. I'm the bastion of truth. My gut says... It's difficult. I don't know who actually who's actually the killer. If there is one. I don't know who it is. You know what? Here. I don't think it's Borden, personally. It could be Rowena. Alright, we're gonna review the clues. So, Galfrey said that Borden has worked for him for a long time. Borden will spill more truth when drunk. Galfrey said Rowena has worked for him for a long time. Rowena said that Rowena was in the 3rd Legion of the Empire Army. Rowena will always tell the truth for money. Galfrey said that Gryndon has worked for him for a long time. Galfrey said that Gryndon makes wild accusations when drunk. Galfrey said the assassin will always lie regardless of their personality. Borden said he has a beautiful wife. And Borden drunkenly said that Rowena was in the 3rd Legion of the Empire and killed her captain. Your gut is saying Gryndon, but you don't know why. Well, I would say your reasoning for that would be the theatrics. Borden thinks the assassin is Gryndon. Borden has said Rowena has worked for many different factions. Rowena said that she was in the 7th Legion of the Empire. Rowena said the assassin is Gryndon. So both the other two think Gryndon is the assassin. Rowena said the assassin doesn't have a hidden wrist dagger. A Maiden doesn't have a hidden wrist dagger. Grindon said that he used to be a famed actor. While he's drunk, Grindon said that he thinks the assassin is Borden. Grindon says not to trust anybody but him. You notice the red candle has burnt to a stump. It won't be long before it burns out completely.
The moment is almost here. Make your decision.
So you basically have two choices now. We can either stand guard with Galfrey, or we can accuse one of them. I wouldn't expect Rowena to have a hidden switchblade. And she's the only one that has contradicting information. So, here's what we'll do. Number 2, we'll stand guard with Galfrey all night. Number 3, we'll accuse Borden. 4, we'll accuse Rowena. And 5, we'll accuse Grindon. So, your vote will basically decide who you're going to be accusing, or if we're just going to stand guard with Galfrey all night. Zombie, you think Grindon is the assassin? Wouldn't blame you. Red candle. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm also thinking of, was the red candle, the theatrics, because he was an actor. It sucks we weren't able to get all the clues, though. I don't think I'm gonna get that sun token. Okay, I guess no one else is voting, so let's approach Grindon. Let us accuse him. Grindon is appalled at your accusation, but draws weapons with a flourish nonetheless. With a horrific dramatic timing, you turn to see the real assassin, Rowena, appear behind Father Galfrey to slice his throat from ear to ear. She holds the ex-priest by the collar and mouths into his ear. The Empire sends their sympathies before letting him fall onto the table, spilling red blood with wine. You accuse the wrong suspect. Father Galfrey is dead. You're failed to win the gold token.
There is still a chance of completion, but no chance of perfection now.
That's a shame. Oh well. Rowena grins and you draw your weapon. Silencer Rowena. Her loyalty to gold is staunch and unwavering. Ah, darn it. No, you don't. I see, you have full control of the whirlwind. It was either one of those two, but oh well. When the red candle's flames burned out on his last evening at the Mulberry Inn, the false priest will have his sins appeased. Oh, we completed it, but we didn't get the coin.
More choices, more tokens to unlock.
The Borrow Burrow. Following Treasure. The Soothsayer. I like the drawing on that card. Trading House. Dark Alleys. Cry of Victory. Thieves' Folly. Mask of Holy Fortunes. And Sacrificial Blades. Good Fortune. Health Tonic. And the Merchant's Ring. If anything, what I'll probably do, I'll do, since it's not really beating the game,
Here the hermit hides, and with him the secrets that underpin your history. We will explore them together.
So I'll probably actually just simply go back on my own time to go through the Hierophant and get a gold on that. I won't be doing, so this will not be like a perfection run, on stream. I could easily see that taking way too much time, but let's do one more. The Lovers. I remember the Lovers. Oh, we don't actually have a companion this time. Interesting. Keep Oswin safe from his murderous lover. Undead lackeys. Oswin's lover will send an army of skeletons to bring him back. Spare food. If he is with you, Oswin will eat one food every step if he is injured. Ah, so Oswin is our companion. Dominate a fight with artifacts. Interesting. I'm curious what the Soothsayer is. I'm also want to see what the armory is. Don't understand the Deadly Forest though. So basically, there's a shop, huh? Faction... so that's the Empire's contacts. It's faction equipment, then. So basically, you can actually fight and not get any sort of fame. Interesting. You can either gain gold or gain food. So many options. Gain max life, trade a blessing.
The ride to our destination is only so long. I would have you prepared before we arrive.
Well, let's try some of the new stuff. The Borrow Burrow. So our deck is expanding a bit. Head to the Burning Building. And let's add the Market Thief. See, and let's add some other things here. A winding trail. Let's add the winding trail since it seems to be anything. And we can finally add the deep water. Let's see, do we get any new weapons? The Exquisite Blade. We actually don't know what that does. Let's add that. Let's add the Sacrificial Blades as well. Let's add the Cry of Victory. Don't know what that does either, as well as the Mask of Holy Fortunes. Didn't we get the Merchant's Ring? Or the helmet? Let's actually add that too. I like the Ruby Ring. Dark Grove Ring, Stunted Healing. Stunted Healing? Don't starve, light armor, resist corrupted. Oh, but fighting undead, so... Let's add a shield. Let's also add the Valiant Aegis as well. And we'll also add the Gluttony sword as well. And we will... what's the Merchant's Ring do? Reveal shop encounters at the start of each new map. Interesting. Let's see here. Well, I want the food. And we'll add the Merchant's Ring. Let's begin and try and keep Oswin alive.
In the darkness of my temple, I labored upon this game, devoted to its mysteries, plundering its secrets, crafting it anew for every foe who faced me. If I have ever loved, it is the love of service to a greater ideal.
I just remember the Lover's card in the first one. I learned to hate that card because it was a very polarizing card. And that is how we fell in love. In retrospect, the potatoes had nothing to do with it. I merely wish to speak of their starchy beauty. 3 moons ago, you came into the company of Oswin, the potato farmer. He grabbed your arm and explained that his beloved wanted to send him to the final death, so that they could be together for eternity. His desperate eyes and the promise of his family's magical sword convince you to accompany him. Now you walk the road to his village, where he claims that he will be safe from his dearest sweet potato. Yeah, the lovers gave you a lot of options. You could basically sell them out, and you could be cursed later on. It was a very polarizing card. And it was always random. It was probably, if anything, one of the least predictable cards in Hand of Fate 1. The farmer gnaws at a raw potato. Coin slave, could we visit my kin on the way to Nightshade Copse? Rumor has it he's made some kind of exploding ball. Scribbles a note on your map. Exploding doodads. The farmer crunches thoughtfully on a potato. Ask him if visiting his uncle is necessary. No, but it tends to get quite crabby if I don't visit him while I'm in the area. That's what will happen to him on his farm. Oh, my farm isn't here. It's in Nightshade Copse, where we're heading. I was merely visiting the city for the region's biannual root vegetable festival. You wonder how easy it will be to keep Oswin alive. Okay, and we also have a general store right off the bat.
Goblins, they get in everywhere.
You arrive at an overturned cart propped by a large log. Well, here we are. Oswin knocks on the top of the cart. Uncle, it's Oswin. A goblin, poorly disguised as a human, scurries out from behind the cart. Excuse me. You note no surprise on either Oswin nor the goblin's face. Oswin, my boy, have you come to see my exploding doodads? And before anybody can agree or protest, the goblin pulls a lit bomb from his robe and flings it into the forest. The bomb explodes spectacularly against a boulder. You there! The goblin squints up at you. Watch out for the monsters. This forest is simply rife with them. He taps his staff upon the ground, and undead begin to crawl from a swirling portal. The goblin gives you a genial smile as he places a bomb in your hands. He pats Oswin on the arm and then jumps into the portal with a little whoop. Holy Purification. It's an artifact. Holy Bomb. Throw a bomb that causes 80 damage to undead enemies. This artifact requires careful aim. A powerful combat item with a limited number of uses. And this challenge is unlimited, because they want us to teach us how to use the bomb. The portal closes, leaving you surrounded by the walking dead, holding a bomb and a potato farmer at your side. Kill the skeletons with the artifact to progress. Ooh. These aren't corrupted, these are pure undead. Wait, but we've used every button on the controller except for the R3 and L3. How do they want me to throw a bomb? His love for potato is unrivaled and unyielding. Move, camera, right button is artifact, okay. Aha! Well, I got lucky. That was really lucky. I'll take that. Oswin Uncles appears behind you without a sound, taking the curiously enchanted bomb from your hand and replacing it with a near-identical one.
The flim-flam of holy men. Do with it as you will.
Aw, 3 uses. That's a shame. He then gives you both a forceful pinch on the cheek and disappears from the overturned cart. Osmond seems wholly unperturbed by the happenings. You continue on your journey.
Not the most reliable of companions, it would have to be said.
You wake one night to the sound of Osmond's muffled screams. The undead surrounded the potato farmer. They appear to be attempting a kidnapping, but you are doing a shambolic job of it. One skeleton is shoving a cloth in Osmond's mouth while the other swings a sword wildly. Ooh. Well, keeping Osmond alive is going to be very difficult. Only a 25% chance of success. Hard. You know, I'm actually surprised Deviant Dev doesn't sell, like, card backs as DLC. Who designed multiple card backs? Like Hearthstone. Alright, we should go with card number 3. Ah, that was the first card. Oh well. In the hubbub, somebody loops a bag over your head, tying it tight. You struggle for a while before passing out. When you come to, Oswin and his skeleton kidnappers are gone. Oswin in trouble. Well, at least it's on the way. Oswin's time is limited. Okay.
It is a kind of miracle. The Empire has done their best to purge this world of everything strange and wonderful, and yet the strong remain.
You see some treasure lying inside the den of a family of claw trolls. Ooh, excuse me. Claw trolls. Gambler's Jewel. You may try to retrieve it, but the claws of troll cubs are preternaturally sharp. You will have to be quick. Oh yeah, let's enter the cave. We have to do this.
This piece has passed through more than a few hands. Every gambler loses eventually, even when the deck is stacked in their favor.
You retrieve the item, but the troll cubs are enraged at your intrusion to their cave. Ooh. I see. Oh! Ah. You discover firsthand why claw trolls are so named the cubs, as the cubs surround you in a frenzy. Oh well. Let's go save Oswin.
Terrible things stand between you and your quest.
You find Oswin face down in the forest, half-eaten tuber by his side. He is unconscious, barely breathing, his lips tinged blue. Force a potato into his mouth, pour water on him, taste the strange vegetable for yourself. At least I can give him food and everything's okay. I could try out the strange vegetable myself, or I could just pour water on him and tell him, wake your butt up. Alright. Let us taste some very interesting potatoes. You crunch down on the vegetable. It's somehow crunchy and sticky at the same time. It tastes very much like poison. Well, that's a shame. Wait, we can do it again? I can't believe we can actually do it again. That's kind of funny. Let's just force a potato down his mouth. Oh, right. We have to actually make sure he can eat. Not... Oh. Right, the Gambler's Jewel.
Victory. You are learning.
As you place the potato in Oswin's mouth, his jaw snaps shut, and you remove your fingers just in time. Barely acknowledging you, Oswin briefly begins to frantically search the area. Cry of relief, he leaps behind a tree. You help the weary farmer to his feet. You keep a close eye on the potato farmer. Surely you think he won't get kidnapped again. And heal Oswin at the campfire. Interesting. Oh, thank you for the gold. Ooh, the Mask of Holy Fortunes. Draining rebirth. When skeletons reanimate, they drain life from enemies around them. Avoid failure. One failure card glows red during the shuffle in the card gambit. Only one helm can be equipped at a time. No defense, but acquires 12 fame. Skeletons reanimate, they drain life. Interesting. Let's see what sacrificial blades do. Knock down blitz. Perform a series of strikes that can be guided towards multiple enemies. The final strike causes knockdown. Holy weapon deals 125% damage to undead, including skeletons, wraith, and necromancer. And the exquisite blade. Critical strike. Powerful strike that causes 225% damage on a single target when activated. While ineffective in combat, this item is very valuable. 13 damage is not bad. I mean, compared to 9 damage, that's the armor of gluttony. Wow, you need a lot of fame. How are we doing on that? Oh, it's a shame you can only visit these places once. What equipment do we have here? We can actually sell the bombs. Well, I'm sure we'll be fine. We'll be fine!
Nobility continues to reward itself, and the rich become yet more wealthy.
The Palace Armory is holding a special promotion for the nobility. The guards block your entrance. Peasants are forbidden from entering the Palace Armory. Turn away or be sent to the dungeons. That requires 16 fame. My goodness.
Food is ever the driving force behind success.
You arrive at the village fair during their market fair. Let's go to the fair. Vegetables spill from the baskets, and the air has a cozy smell of fresh baked bread and butter. Oswin immediately wanders off. Play the strength game. Buy provision. Alright, this is an interesting one. Buying provisions could be useful, but I'm actually interested in the strength game. I don't know what game he actually is referring to. There might be one more item on the table that we haven't actually used. Yeah, I'm really curious about it too. Behind a counter sits a small boy, fussing over a puppy. He holds out a heavy wooden mallet. 10 gold to play. If you win, you can draw a prize from the hat. He points at a pile of folded papers. Let's play the strength game. I want to see what this is. Okay, it's that. Oh. Oh. One mallet launches the spring ball upward. Onlookers clap politely as the boy cheers. You get to draw one thing from the pile. Oh, Nuffle. Wait, Nuffle's a die. What am I talking about? Ah, failure. Written on the piece of paper are the words, "One free pat of lemon." You pat the puppy's little head. Let's go do something else. Let's buy provision. Buy 3 food for 10 gold. I'll do that. That's actually a pretty good deal. Let's go find Oswin. You find Oswin trading a fistful of gold for a meager sack of vegetables. The stall owners are clearly bandits. They chuckle and count the coins, not believing their luck. Oswin tries to jam a potato in a sack already full and bursting. He looks up and gives you a little wave. You worry about the road ahead.
Friends will get you in trouble. There is a reason I prefer to travel alone, yet here we are, making this journey together.
You awaken one morning to find Oswin completely vanished. Again! Oswin's time is limited.
Here you will always find fair exchange. Do not overlook the many possible uses this may have. Many will not be so fair in your travels.
Trade food for equipment, trade equipment for food. Ooh. Trade equipment for food. Trade 2 pieces of equipment for 3 food game cards. Trade 3. Do I even have 3 pieces of equipment? I do. I have to do it. He goes through food like crazy. A magician claiming to be from the ruined dwarven fortress of Zor has been selling apples from his bottomless bag all morning. 10 food. And 3 food. 3 more. And... good equipment for... no, we need the artifact. Alright, Oswin.
Learn the future at your own peril. You think I have not turned to oracles and auguries in order to see how this ends? I only know it all ends in death.
You're about to embark on a quest for the mayor of a small town when a young, strangely dressed woman shouts to you. Beware, stranger, for I have seen your future and danger awaits. For but a few coins, he continues while gripping your arm, I can tell you of your coming misfortunes. So, we can either go on the quest, or decline her offer and go on the quest, or we can decline and abandon the quest. Either way, we're declining her offer. You'll always lose gold with the soothsayer, then. You turn and re-enter the tavern, anxious to get away. Moments later, you notice the woman accosting another patron saying, You! Danger awaits you! The next day, you stride into the forest, intent on hunting down the brigands that have been harrying the town. Your quest gets off to a bad start. You slip on a narrow bridge, you catch yourself before plunging into the ravine below, but some of your supplies slip from your pockets. What? A wandering devil disguised as a peasant turns you into a donkey for to complement his disguise. Eventually, you are released safely into another part of the forest and spend some days retracing your path. You come across a dead adventurer by the side of the road. There is no sign of what caused her passing, but she won't mind you putting her remaining supplies to good use. Oh my god, this is good. That's good. That's bad. That's good. A health potion rolls off the back of a passing wagon as it rumbles past the forest path. The driver pays no heed as he whips his wagon along at a fast pace. Okay. I really hate that. Like, the reason why I'm end up skipping stuff is because the cards are... it's not, like, letting me confirm at the rate, it's automatically doing it. You leave the small village without payment.
The game often offers you a choice. Sometimes they are both poor choices, however.
While roaming the dark alleyways of the capital, you see a suspicious group traveling in your direction. The Anarchist of Greed, and 5 of Light. They are dragging a locked chest behind them, its contents unknown. In another direction, you spy an item glinting in the moonlight. The exquisite blade. However, you notice a number of shadowy forms lurking in the alley nearby. Which way will you go? Move towards the visible enemies with the locked chest. Move towards the suspiciously unguarded equipment. Tough call. So we go for the unknown, or we go for the exquisite blade, which we'll most likely be able to sell for a profit. I'm more curious what's in the chest. You are too, huh, Ninja Zombie? Alright. You approach the men with the chest. They drop their cargo and their blade, saying, "Slatus said no witnesses." What weapon do I have? Okay, I have the rusty knives. That's fine. That's the wrong button. Ah, darn it. Stabby, stabby. I like the executions, I kind of do, but I'm curious why... I'm trying to figure out what the benefit is. Like, obviously you get invulnerability. If the custodian's defeated, you break open the locked chest. You notice a secret compartment in the bottom of the chest.
Back to the bones. I hope you have learned to be their master.
Find some equipment hidden in the secret compartment.
Whose sacrifice? That is the question.
I'll definitely store that.
Love was always difficult. This seems more trouble than you might expect, however.
You find Oswin surrounded by bandits, swinging his pitchfork wildly and threatening to use their tailbones to till the farm. Poor Oswin. Try and keep you alive, shall we? Shame that they're not undead. It's a shame I can't actually use the daggers. What? Ah. Ah, darn it. Want to use my special ability. I am really slow at my reaction times. Damn it, Oswin. I ran out of room to dodge. Oh, I'm gonna be hurting for a while. Why do I have gold hair all of a sudden? I thought I had brown hair. You search the bodies of anything of use. Hour of Gluttony.
Ancient smiths have considered the same issues.
Oh, thank goodness, a health potion.
How to handle hunger and resources during battle.
Gain 3 defense if you have 20 plus food. Receive 1 food for every food gain card. Yes. I'll equip that. You gain 4 fame. You can heal Oswin at the campfire. Right, well, let's actually see. I think I can... No, I need 17 fame for that. Oh, camp.
Stop and see what Oswin has to say, perhaps.
Small peasant family journeying to the capital joins your campfire. The Heal Oswin, 1 food for 5 life. Oh, okay, Oswin's health is in the upper right, so he's at 58. Let's see, trade? Let's see, 4 food, Mask of Holy Fortunes, and we could sell our gear. I want to be able to use those swords, though. That would actually be helpful against the undead. He's gonna consume food anyway. Oh, well, that's nice. Thank you. So shield these. Wait, exquisite blades, 100 gold. My goodness. Nope, can't even do that. That's a shame. Oop. That's the wrong one. More skeletons. What to do? Let's go to card number 1. Nope, that's card number 4. Thud of a rusted shield against your temple, you blackout. You come to, Oswin and his skeletal kidnappers are gone. God damn it, Oswin. Oswin's time is limited. You run into Oswin's goblin uncle. He beckons you over to a tree stump. As you approach, he places 2 items side by side on the stump. One will make your enemies your friends, the other is poison. Which shall you drink? Quickly, quickly, choose. There's a bomb and a bottle marked poison. One will make your enemies your friends, the other is poison. Which shall you drink? Alright, well, I guess we're drinking the poison. The goblin nods gleefully as you unstopper the bottle and drink down the thick liquid. It tastes of butterloaf and sweet berries. I don't feel any different. Just as you laugh at the absurdity of it all, the goblin smacks hard on your hand with his staff, breaking your finger. Satisfied with the proceedings, the old goblin gives you a little wave and climbs up a nearby tree. The bomb still lies on the stump. You pocket it and look up to see skeletons emerging from the thicket.
Many are traitors in their hearts. If you know men, you know betrayal.
Let's see. Throw a bomb that causes enemies to fight at your side for 10 seconds. Does not affect elite enemies. No, I don't want to equip the Traitor's Urge. Ready your weapon. Fighting all these enemies. Poison is always a good thing in these games. Always. Although I think I will be using the grenade here against all these things. Returned. Raised from the endless sleep to fight once more. Skeletons are weak, but armed with an assortment of equipment. Make preparations for combat challenging. Vulnerable to holy. Damn it. Ooh, that's a good reach. Oh, that's cool. You even have the graphic for the Armor of Gluttony. continue your journey wondering how you'll next encounter Oswin's goblin uncle.
He will keep getting himself in trouble, it seems.
The following tracks and hearsay you find Oswin hanging from a ledge far above a gaping ravine. Oh, thank the gods, your companion is as white as a sheet. Quick, help me before they return. They think I'm dead. Although having multiple artifacts is actually kind of nice. At least I'll have something to sell in the near future. I'm guessing you mean number 1 with that ninja zombie. I do find it weird having oh my god, I forgot what the actual word of it is. I don't want to say hashtag. Success! You heave Oswin over the ledge into safety. You lie there, exhausted, covered in cold sweat. The thud of a spear beside your head heralds the skeleton's arrival. God damn it. I actually might die. This is very much a possibility here. Game has this round of the game has not been kind. Yep. Rummage through the bones for anything of use. Ah, nice. And gold! And food! Oswin pokes up a pile of bones. It's quite nice that she'd send all this to get me back. He looks quite pleased for a moment before remembering that the skeletons were trying to kill him. Keep a close eye. Surely you think he won't get kidnapped again. There we go. At least we have enough now to actually... We're 1 fame short. God dang it. We're 1 fame short. Oswin disappears briefly and returns to, with a potato pasty. You can watch him take a bite with gusto. Oi! Growl echoes across the inn. A hulking northerner grabs your companion by the arm. That was my pasty, little man. The potato farmer looks up at his furious assailant, then down to the crisp warm pastry. To your exasperation, he seems to be considering eating it anyway. Trying to calm the northerner down or attack the northerner and his friends. Do we fight, or do we try to appease them? Only some frost. It's barbarians. Or northerners. Alright, we'll try and calm them down. Ooh. The success, and there's major success. Let's... I'm really bad.
What an unfortunate time for your skills to leave you.
The northerner takes offense at your gentle cooing noises. As you draw your weapon and the northerners respond in kind, as they rush towards you, you see Oswin hastily shove the rest of the pasty into his mouth. I got greedy. Yeah, that pendulum game's, to me, that's the hardest one out of the entire group. my god, I'm gonna lose him. I guess he can't die? No, he can die. It is really difficult to actually respond in kind to a lot of these counterattacks. They happen so quickly. It also is surprising that they basically can take a beating. We got Oswin killed.
Alas, you have failed your friend, and in the process, yourself.
Oswin the potato farmer is dead. You have failed.
Completion is still within your grasp, but perfection has fled.
Challenge failed. And so the only thing that was actually there was for the perfection. Okay. Lovers is basically perfect. That's actually kind of weird. Why is the lovers just perfection? That's really weird, actually. Yeah. It says lovers. What's the
symbol of victory over oppression, control and will. Properties I understand well, and you will learn.
Interesting. So apparently, I guess not all... So I guess there's 22 challenges, but not all of them are necessary. So I guess the lovers is completely optional. We'll do it. We'll definitely try that. We'll try that again. Unfortunately, though, it has been 2 hours, and that concludes our stream. So if anything, though, what I'll do, I'll probably play the Hierophant. I'll get the... I want to get the gold token, so I'll probably get the gold token off stream if I have the time. So if you see it's silver still, well, that's because I didn't have the time to do it. But we'll definitely start with another challenge of going through the lovers again. And this time we'll make sure we'll actually start with a weapon then, and some food too, because apparently he's going to get kidnapped more. And then hopefully we'll have time to do the chariot. Definitely very difficult. Like, you know, the difficulty in terms of the combat has certainly increased. A lot of the games are a lot... Like, the chances are a lot less forgiving. Like, compared to dealing with just the random draw of cards in the first one, compared to having to put your faith in die rolls, the pendulum itself, the light game, that, if anything, is probably the most brutal of them all. That one is, to me, the major challenge. I'll take the roulette over the beam anytime. But that's gonna be it for me tonight, though. Let's see here. So there's actually a couple streams actually that are already going on here. Actually, there's one right now. There's one I definitely would highly recommend. For those of you watching, D Yoshi is actually doing a 24-hour stream. So he's actually been going for I don't know, I'd say maybe 4 or 5 hours now already. But he's actually giving away, because he actually works for Phoenix Labs, the company that is actually developing the free-to-play, their free-to-play game, Dauntless. And for those of you who don't know, if you enjoy playing Monster Hunter games, that is effectively it's a free-to-play Monster Hunter style game on PC. And he is actually giving out free codes to those who ask. Ask nicely, don't just demand it or anything like that. And he will actually, he's basically ensuring, you know, giving away multiple codes as he streams. But of course, you know, give him a follow though. D Yoshi is a great streamer. He's a very chill, relaxed stream. It's always enjoyable. He's been playing with people a all throughout the night, and he'll probably be playing with people as he goes through game to game as well. But like I said, be there, take a look at him, say hi, give him a follow, and definitely show him some love, though. But as for me, though, we'll be back, and we will actually we'll actually go through the Lovers tomorrow, and also the Chariot. And if we have any more time, we can go through a couple of others, though. As for now, though, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. And until then, take care.